information system. Okay. I think most of you are aware of the full form. So what does it means now? Okay, it means that if I just break the terms and try to explain each of the words, geography, it deals with the earth. If you are a student of geography, the definition of geography is study of the earth, right? Geo is earth and graphy is the study. So geography is the study of the earth or anything which is related to earth, right? Information obviously is to get some kind of data, right? And system is to work to do the work in a systematic manner, right? So now if I just join the terms together, what will I come what how will I conclude? So in GIS we try to collect the earth information in a systematic manner. Okay, so if you are new into this field and you want to make some career into it and you want to explore it a bit more, so always try to study this in a systematic manner because the term system is associated with it. Now what is this systematic manner, right? So before that, if you want to know more about GIS, so first of all you have to understand about the geospatial data. Okay, geospatial data. Geospatial, because in GIS we deal with geospatial data, right? Geospatial means geo is earth and spatial means anything which occupies a space. Suppose I am now sitting at a place, right? I may also be called as a geospatial data because I am also occupying a space. Now how will I express my location or the space that I am occupying? I can explain that with the help of latitude and longitude. So in GIS, the very first thing that we should know is to understand about. Just a minute. I think there is some network issue. So in GIS, that's why the very first thing that we should deal with is the latitude and longitude. Wait, some students are in the queue, I guess. Is my voice clearly audible or are you facing issue in my voice?
No, ma'am.
Is it
Voice
all
is
fine?
clear.
You can just write in the text, please. Don't mute yourself. You can write in the text. You can write in the text, okay? In this
The
text
network
section.
is the network is not strong here.
Yeah, you can write in the text, okay? I guess. Okay, fine. Great. Okay, fine. Great. Fine. So now let us proceed further. Okay, so look, everything, every person, every event on earth exists or happens somewhere, isn't it? Earthquake is happening, a flood is happening, that's a phenomenon or event. So somewhere it is happening. Fine. So in GIS, how do we understand where it happens? We understand it by the concept of latitude and longitude, and that is actually called as location. Okay, so if the location of this somewhere can be fixed, information about almost anything can be placed on a map,
हाँ हाँ सर
right? So if I want to map myself where I'm sitting
मैम
right
लैपटॉप
now,
ही है
so I can easily in the suppose I want to find out my location on a map. And what is map now? Map is a 2D representation of the earth surface.
रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन
When again I'm requesting, please mute yourself. It's very distracting actually at the main in the at the main. Aisha Umar, can you please mute yourself? Okay, so it is otherwise very distracting in the middle. Anyway, so suppose I want to, I'm sitting somewhere, right? I'm occupying a space. So if I want to locate myself on the map, so how will I do that? So in GIS, actually, we do that with the help of a coordinate system. Now, what is coordinate system? In coordinate system, we have an x-axis and we have a y-axis, right? So now if I make some angles, suppose I'm making some angles, okay, so this is x and this is y. This is x and this is y. Okay, so if I suppose I'm sitting at 23 degree north and suppose 70 degree east. So, but how can I locate this? Suppose this is the two-dimension representation of the Earth's surface. Okay. So now I can make some angle. Suppose from center I'm making an angle of 10 degree. Okay. Let me make it a bit smaller. Then 20 degree. Okay. Then suppose this is 23 degree. So as I said, I'm sitting at 23-degree north. Okay. So this is my latitude. This is my latitude. Okay. Now as I said, suppose 70-degree east. So I will again make an angle from the some angles from taking this as a center now. So suppose this is 10-degree toward east, 20-degree toward east, so on till suppose this is 70 degree. Suppose this is 30 and likewise 40 and 50. Sorry, suppose this is 30-degree. Okay, and likewise suppose this is 70-degree. So if I now make a straight line taking this 70-degree, so this is my longitude. So where is my location now? So this is the location. So if I want to find out where I am sitting on this two-dimension plane surface, or that is actually map. Okay, so with the help of latitude and longitude, we can find out the location of any place, or we can find out the location of any phenomena. That's what is written over here. If the location of this somewhere can be fixed, information about almost anything can be placed on a map. Okay. Now, why? Now, obviously, the question is, why do we need this information? Why do I need? Now, suppose I want to find out the distance from where I am sitting right now to suppose a prominent place, suppose Delhi. Okay, that is the capital, or suppose a place, a prominent place. So now, unless and until I get my location, suppose this is my location and I want to visit, suppose this place. Okay, so I can now find out the distance between this my place to that location. So unless and until we define the things on a plain paper, on a map, we cannot find out distance, we cannot do planning. Fine. So that's why GIS is now becoming so important, because without this we cannot actually think of planning and basically navigation. For navigation, GIS has become so much important, right? I think all of you are aware about the Google map. So now if we want to visit some place, what we do? We instantly search that place on Google map. And Google map takes us to that location. Now how is this possible? How Google map is doing that? Because Google map is also creating a map behind like this. So suppose your house is here, you want to visit a place in somewhere here. So Google map will direct you likewise. Okay. So unless and until you locate the things on a two-dimension map, you cannot actually do navigation, you cannot do any kind of planning. And that this work can only be done with the help of GIS. Okay. Now let us see what else we can do with GIS. So if it won't be wrong if we call GIS as map-based information management system, right? Now, as I said, to know GIS better, we must be aware of the concept geospatial data, right? So spatial data or geospatial data is the same. Okay, what does this mean? This means it's an information about a physical object that can be represented by numerical values in a geographic coordinate system. Okay, so this is what I actually explained just now. I'm sitting at 23-degree north and 70-degree east. Okay, so I am a geospatial data now. So anything which occupies a space on the Earth's surface is called as geospatial. Can be called as a geospatial data, right? So if you want to now find out the location of any phenomena or any place, okay, so that you can create a map of it unless and until you get the location. Okay, location means the latitude and longitude. Okay, geospatial data can be analyzed to determine. Now, why geospatial data is needed or required? To determine the location, right? As I just highlighted, if I want to find out my location, or suppose I'm doing some study on a reserve forest. Okay, so if I want to make map of that forest, so for that I need the location, and once I get the location, I have to define that in a coordinate system, and for that I will need the latitude and longitude of that particular place. Okay, so to this geospatial data can be analyzed to determine the location of features where the most or least some feature exists. Okay, suppose you want to map out and you want to find out in a country where suppose the availability of water is maximum, where it is minimum. In that case also, you have to first of all show or visualize the things on a map. And for making the map, you need the locational values, okay, or locational obviously latitude and longitude for each of this phenomena. Then the density of feature in a given space. Suppose you want to create the density of, suppose, population density. You want to find out in your country which place is having the maximum density of population. For that also, you need to first of all bring all the data, the population data on a map. Okay. What is happening inside an area of interest? Area of interest means the boundary. So if you want to find out what's happening, what is the earthquake incidents in your area, okay, so for that also you need to have the knowledge of geospatial data. What is happening nearby some feature or phenomena? This we can do with the help of buffer. I can create a buffer, right? Suppose I want to find out the encroachment of settlement around the forested area. Okay, so for that, first of all, I need to get the locational information of that forest. Then I can create a buffer. Then I can find out the encroachment within that buffer area. Okay, and how a specific area has changed over a time. This is something in which GIS and remote sensing is used a lot. This is actually called as change detection. Suppose you want to find out how your area was earlier, how it is now, and even nowadays in the software we have the tools where you can also predict how it will be in coming future. So for this kind of work, we need to know we should have the knowledge of geospatial data. Okay. Now I have just drafted some map, pasted some map to make you understand what else we can do with the help of GIS. Okay. So look, this is a map we have created where we have tried to show the relationship between the land surface temperature and land use. This is the land use map of Delhi. So as you can see, these are the land use, and this is the LST. We have created both of this land use and LST with the help of Landsat satellite images, and we have tried to find out which particular land cover holds the maximum land surface temperature. And as you can see, the maximum, that is 19 degree to 21 degrees Celsius, is around this area, right? So this is in the shade of like orange shade. So that is barren land. So we can conclude that the particular land surface which holds the maximum land surface temperature is the barren land. So just look, this kind of relationship can be so well interpreted with the help of map. We could have done the same work in Excel sheet as well. But there is a saying, maps tells us thousands of words. Okay, map can interpret, map can explain the things in the best possible way. Because in map we are visualizing the things as it is, right? So this kind of work we can do with the help of GIS. Then as I said, if we want to show the phenomena, where the phenomena is happening. This is a map of India showing the location of earthquakes. Okay, so earthquake is a phenomena, right? So and these are all the epicenter. So if you have the locational information of each of this epicenter, location information means, suppose if I talk about this epicenter, so it is having a latitude, it is having a longitude. So just latitude and longitude is enough to mark this particular phenomena on a map. Okay, so this is a map where we have tried to represent the earthquake incident. So from this map we can conclude that if we talk about the India and its surrounding countries, so some part of Afghanistan and some part of northeast India received maximum earthquake. Okay, so between 2015-21, this two area has seen maximum incidence of earthquake, right? So just look, now you can relate how map can express the things so easily, right? Then we can, if you want to find out the clustering of something, okay, suppose this is a map of Delhi again. So in this map we have tried to show the clusters of vegetation where the green space is maximum. Okay, so we have found that this very high area, so this is the area around Delhi which has got the clustering of urban spaces, so in the maximum number, right? So this kind of work can also be done. this is an amenity map that we have created. Amenity map means if we wish to show the facilities available in an area, right? So for that also, look, we have tried to show the bus stop, solid waste disposal, overhead water tank, so many facilities, right? So if you also wish to make a similar map, so for that you should have the locational aspect of locational values of each of this facility. Like for this bus stop, each bus stop might be is having a latitude and longitude. Okay, so if you wish to map anything, what is the basic requirement? The basic requirement is the location. Location means latitude and longitude. Now let's see what else we can do with the help of GIS. So this is some kind of problem. Okay, so this is a map of Indore. This is a city in India, one of the smartest city in India. So we have tried to see whether Indore is also facing some problem, urban problem. So we have from various sources we got this data, and we just tried to drop that on map, and we found that this particular area in Indore is having a high AQI. Okay, and these are some places where Indore is facing the traffic congestion. So in spite of being the smartest city in India, it's still having some urban problems. Okay, so this kind of things, this kind of issue, if you want to highlight, if you want to represent, then map could be the best means for you. Okay, then in this map we have tried to show, because in Delhi during the monsoon there is a issue of water logging. Okay, because they are in Delhi, because due to lack of improper road structure, and some of the improper infrastructure development, the water is logged at the center. So here we have tried to locate the places where maximum water logging is being seen. Okay, and even we have tried here to upload some pictures, so then we can show the ground reality on the map itself. So all these techniques are possible on the GIS software nowadays. Okay, so if you are doing some research on water logging, I guess some of you are also doing some research on various topics, so that's why I have tried to touch all the concept that can be done. Okay, so if you're also doing, because many people are, even I get some scholars who are working on water logging problems, issues, so this kind of map you can also create. So for that, what you have to do, you have to collect the ground control point. Okay, with the help of or the this ground location with the help of either GPS. You can just visit the places where you can see maximum this kind of issues are happening. So you have to collect you have to take a GPS, and if you don't have a GPS, nowadays there are so many mobile GPS applications. Okay, so you just have to visit the field and collect the latitude and longitude with the help of GPS, and then mark those on the on GIS software, and then you can follow up by creating such maps. Okay, now this is a very interesting thing. This is a very interesting map we have tried to create. I think all of you are aware of that COVID situation, right? Around 2000, with the whole world actually saw this very devastating phase, right? So at that time, we were obviously everything was locked up. So we had at that time we tried to create this kind of a service area. We wanted to see, like, if these were the hospitals which were given the responsibility in Delhi to treat the COVID patient. So we just thought, if an ambulance is starting from this hospital, how far it will go within 2 minutes, how far it will go within 4 minutes and 6 minutes. Okay, because during that time even a single minute also mattered a lot, right? So if you are living, suppose you are living somewhere here, so sometimes it happens like we get confused which hospital could be near to me, right? And at that time even a single minute holds a very important place, right? So that's why we have tried to create a service area, and we have tried to see if from the service area of each of these hospitals. So this kind of work can also be done with GIS, and this can actually help a lot during this kind of extreme situations, right? Now, this is another effort. We have tried to find out the multi-hazard location. Rudraprayag is actually a district in the state of Uttarakhand, India, which is a very disaster-prone district. So it actually stuck with all the disaster like landslide, earthquake, flood, cloudburst, forest fire. Okay, so we just try to locate the place where all this disaster stops. So we found that these are the two villages which is struck by all this disaster. So in this particular area, we have seen earthquake is also happening, flood is also there, river is also there. It lies in the flood near the landslide hazardous zone. Okay, so this kind of thing can also help you a lot in drafting a post disaster mitigation strategy, because if any one of you are from disaster field, you might be very much aware that in disaster, post disaster strategy and pre is very important. Because in disaster phase we can't do anything more, but if we are if we are prepared earlier, and if a disaster struck, what we can do instantly, that's why pre and post is more important disaster management. So this kind of map can help a lot. So from this map we can conclude that this is the most hazardous place in whole district. So obviously the we can plan of constructing some rescue sites around this village, because this will be a very huge need, right, for pre as well as post disaster mitigation strategy. So we can do this very easily with the help of GIS. Then if you want to see the, as I said, this is one of the very important technique that is being done in GIS remote sensing, that is to understand the changes. Okay, what happened earlier, what is happening now. So this is a map created one of our student. So in this map we have tried to find out, this is a Coimbatore district map, that which particular location of Coimbatore district has seen maximum changes. Okay, so we have seen that these are the few locations, this red color. Okay, in this location the land cover has completely changed. Maybe earlier in 2000 it was covered with agriculture, now it has totally come in, whatever land cover was there in 2000, it has completely changed and transformed into something new. Okay, so this kind of work can also be done with the help of, this is actually a part of digital image processing. Okay, then this is a very interesting thing we have done. We have tried to do a animation also. Look, GIS has become so updated now. And let me just click on this video. So this is an animation we have created. So this is an area, okay, where it is covered by rivers. Okay, so we have just tried to find out, if a flood happens in this area, how much of area will be inundated. So as you can see, this water is actually coming up, and this much of area will be inundated if there will be a flood-like situation. Okay, this is also created in the GIS software. For this, we use the DAM data, digital elevation model data, and obviously we mark the rivers, and then we have to give a command like how much of water level we want to show is rising. So you can see, like, if the water will rise for 2 meter, how much of area will be affected? If the water will rise for 4 meter, how much of area will be affected? And further, you can also like overlap. If any one of you are doing some work on flood, this is something you can also use, right? So if you wish, you can further overlap this inundated area with a land cover map, and you can find out those land cover which are being affected. So if the water will rise for suppose 5 meter, so what land cover will be affected? So you can overlap any kind of thing. If you want to see, if you want to see the road, like if the water will rise, which road will be affected? So you can overlap a road map. Okay, if you want to see, suppose the infrastructures, okay, the schools, the colleges, just you have to get the locational information of those data, and then you can overlap over this map, and you can then come to some conclusion. So just imagine, GIS can be so helpful. Just sitting at your home, you can plan anything you wish, because in GIS we are actually, visualizing the earth as it is. As it is means what? How your area is, you can visualize it in that way itself. Okay. Further, yeah, this is something again very interesting map we have created. We try to predict the temperature, how the temperature of India will be in 2100. So it is totally based on some calculations, okay, where we cannot 100% rely on it because 2100 is very far. But anyway, we use some tools to predict the temperature, the temperature situation in India for 2100. So you can come to a conclusion with this, that you can clearly see that the temperature is seen to be decreasing. So if you are from geography, if you ever studied that book written by Stoller and Stoller, so there they have also highlighted the temperature, global warming will lead to global cooling. So this map can validate that line. Okay, so again I'm saying it's totally not reliable, maybe not reliable, but we have tried to do some research on it. But anyway, if you also wish to do this kind of work, there are so many techniques available in remote sensing and DIP softwares, with the help of which you can do this kind of prediction as well. Then this is a classification we did. Okay, this is called as object-based classification. So if you want to classify a very small area, okay, and you want to specify the area covered by a building or with very, some planned area. So in that case, you can work with the object-based classification. This is based on segmentation. Okay. Then you can calculate the density map. Suppose you want to find out where the maximum clustering of road are there, where maximum clustering of rivers are there, and likewise if you want to make some kind of plan. So this is a road density map. So in transport also GIS is used a lot. There is actually enormous use of GIS in transport. Okay, so if any one of you is doing some research on transport, or if any one of you want to do some research, so for them also I can suggest transport geography is a very trending field. So you can do a lot, and there are a lot of gaps actually. So you can do a lot of work on transportation. And if you ever want to work on transportation, you have to use a lot of GIS, because with GIS you can do this kind of work. You can find out the connectivity, because there are so many connectivity indexes are available, accessibility indexes are available. Okay, then this density you can create, and so far lot of things you can do. Then you can calculate the LST, right? Land surface temperature. So this is a temperature map you have tried to create for Prayagraj district, which gets the maximum temperature in the summertime. So LST can easily be calculated with the help of Landsat satellite images. Okay. Then watershed, if you wish to create the watershed of a river, of a stream, okay, then you can further do some watershed development program or planning. So watershed can very easily be created on GIS platform. Okay. Then site suitability. So this is a area in Haryana. So in this we actually try to find out where a hospital can be located. So we use, because for a hospital we need certain parameters, right? Because a hospital must be near to the road, it must be near to the railway, it must be like near to the settlements. So these parameters we have taken, okay, and we just give the command ki the hospital site I'm looking for must be near, as well as like it should actually fulfill these parameters. Okay, so after doing this analysis we found this area to be a best site for a hospital, so we can open a hospital in this particular area. Okay, now if I talk about the functions, what else or what function GIS does. Okay, so first of all, in GIS, we deal with data capture. Data capture means to collect the ground information, capturing the ground information data. Okay, for that GPS can be very helpful, but obviously GPS do contain some error. I will try to keep a webinar on GPS also. Okay, GNSS basically. So we will notify you. So the very first function of GIS is data capture. Okay, so if you are looking for a job, you want to make a career on GIS, so you can work, basically the boys, the male, they can work on survey. They can work on with the companies doing surveys. Okay, so what they do, they send their employees. They don't actually, because some area may be inaccessible, so mostly their requirement, they need male candidates. Okay, So you can work on data capture part of GIS where you have to go to the field and collect the locational information of particular phenomena, particular features. Okay, with the help of either GPS, DGPS, total station. Okay, now even drones are also being used. Okay, in data capture only, the remote sensing part we can also cover. There is satellite. What the satellite does, it also captures the data. Drone in India, it is now the government is giving very emphasize on drone mapping, because unless and until you get a base map, we cannot do further planning. And drone can actually, it is emerging. Okay, so drone data collection plus processing. If you have the knowledge of both, then you can get even better job. Because the first work of GIS is to capture the data. For that, we have so many platforms, we have so many techniques, right? Then is storage. So once you capture the data, you should know how to store the data. So either you can store it in raster or vector format, okay, or you can, like, if you want to even have a huge attribute table associated with the data, so you can work with the attribute also. I will be showing some practical today, okay, working with the attribute table, don't worry. Then in GIS we can also do query. Okay, so suppose you got some data, that data may be huge, there may be a lakhs of data, right? And you just need to query out a single data out of it. So there are some query options available inside the GIS software only. There are SQL query operators, so you can just make some queries. So you can query out a few data out of many. Okay, then there is the analysis part. So this is a huge one, because there are so many tools available. Either you work in ArcGIS, you work in QGIS, you work in any GIS software, there are numerous tools available for various analysis. Yes, some of these are maybe proximity analysis, creating buffer and working with it. Overlay analysis, as I said, that if you want to find out the flood inundated area and the effect on land cover, so you have to overlay the flood area with the settlement or with whatever you want to find out. So overlay is, I must say, it is the best functionality of GIS, because no other technique can give you the facility to overlap two data together. Only in GIS you can overlay two data set together and then come to a conclusion. Okay. Then there is network analysis. I have shown, remember one of the map I highlighted, the service area. We created that using the network analysis tool, which runs on the basis of ANN technique, artificial neural network technique. Okay, in network analysis, you can do a lot of work. You can find out you can find out nearest facility, what the Google map does. I think all of you have once searched like that, restaurant near me, or suppose anything near me. Whenever you are going with the near me on Google Map, it actually is using the network analysis technique. Okay, so there are a lot of, this is just few I have highlighted. There are many analysis tools available. Then is display. Okay, so you can either visualize your output in 2D or 3D. Okay, or even nowadays you can directly upload your data on web. That is a part of WebGIS. Okay, once you upload your data on web, it may be publicly available. Okay, so you can display it in various, there are various means of data display. And then the output. So output you can either get in the form of hard copy map, or you can make some interactive map and display on web. So this is the output. So these are some of the functions of GIS. So just looking at it, you can imagine what we can do with GIS, right? Moreover, if I talk about applications, so as I said in the very earlier, there are no field left where GIS cannot be used. GIS is now used in every field, whether it's transportation, whether it is hydrology, whether it is disaster, whether it is mineral mapping. Okay, so just name any, even in the defense also. In defense, mapping is very important, right? Even mapping, without mapping, we cannot, as I already always say, without mapping, we cannot even think of navigation, we cannot think of planning, right? So just name a field and you can relate how GIS can be helped, can help or can be applied. Okay, so because GIS is the only technique where we work start right from data capture till the analysis. Okay, so these are some of the basic concepts I wanted to highlight with all of you. Okay, now let us do some practical. Fine. I think my voice is all fine. You can just write in the text. Okay, my voice is all fine, I guess. You can
Yes,
write in
ma'am.
the
Yes,
text.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. ठीक. Okay, so I just gave you a very, because we call the students for 1 hour and I try to focus on each and every concept, right? Okay, so now let us do some practical part, because GIS is totally a practical subject and we must be aware of the tools, right? So in 1 hour, though I cannot explain everything, but anyway, let us do a small practical exercise and try to understand the tools. Okay, and for that I will use the QGIS IS software. QGIS is also called as Quantum GIS. It is an open source software. You can easily download and install it. Okay, if you are new to it, so you can just make a search, download QGIS. Okay, so you just go to this first option, download QGIS. Okay, if you have any query after the session, I will give you some time. Okay, this website is a little slow, I guess. So once you go to this website, you will directly get the download option. You can download. Okay, let it get open. I won't waste time to open it. I already opened the QGIS, so this is how actually it looks like. Okay, this blank space is called as data frame or map canvas. Okay, whatever work we do, we use this space for it. Okay, and this is the layer area, and so whatever data you're opening here, you can see. Okay, whatever data you're working with, you can see all the data in this layer section. Okay, now today, first of all, let me explain a bit on digitization. Okay, like what is digitization? So digitization means it can also be called as vectorization. Okay, vectorization means we for that we take a raster at the base and we try to vectorize, okay, the features that we see in the raster. This is mute all here. So for that we need a base, right? So here I am just opening a raster image, and what is raster? It is actually made up of pixels. Okay. So let me open a raster image. Okay. So this is just a simple map I have. Okay. Now, suppose what is this? This is a raster image, because once you will zoom in, you will find pixels. Okay. Now, what is pixel? Pixel is the smallest picture element. Now, if I want to, separate out, suppose I am doing a work and I want this old alluvium plain. I want this area, and I want to do some planning on this old alluvium plain. So how can I create this data? So I have to create a vector layer over this raster. Fine. So now there are many various format of vector. So the mostly used vector is the shape file. Shapefile is the native vector file format of Esri. Now, what is Esri? Esri is the company which manufactures ArcGIS. Okay. Now, how to create that vector? For that, we have to go to the layer. In this QGIS, you have this layer option. Then create layer, and you have to go with the new shapefile layer. Okay. So, in this way, I can get a new shapefile. So, here only let me just write it down. So that is old alluvium plain, right? Alluvium. Okay, suppose I just want to separate it out, and further I want to do some kind of planning. So obviously plain, or I'm working with some area, so I will take here the option of polygon. Okay. Here I will take at the below right hand side, you can see the coordinate system over here is 4326. Though I am not explaining the coordinate system in today's webinar, I may take another webinar for that, because that's a huge thing. And I'm going with OK. Fine. So here I have created this data. Now in this QGIS, we have this tool that is toggle editing. Okay, so I will just click on this toggle editing and then just go next to it. This is the add polygon feature, and you just have to keep on clicking, and likewise you can just, I'm doing this little randomly, okay, otherwise you have to just zoom and do the work, so I'm not zooming more. Yes, so I'm just creating this, I'm not zooming more, okay, I'm just doing it a bit randomly. I just wanted to show how we can create a vector over a raster. And what will be the use of it? So the use will be, I can have the area. Okay. So suppose I'm creating it. I'm creating, this is the old flood plain area in Delhi. Okay, so I'm just creating it a bit more. An old flood plain, this old flood plain is a very, fertile area as well. Suppose I want to do some agriculture in this area, so I got this old floodplain area. I just click on it, I will save it. Okay. So look, I extracted that. If I just uncheck it, so extracted that old floodplain area from the raster image. Now, if I wish, I can overlap this data on Google Earth to exactly visualize and see which areas of Delhi are falling under this old alluvium plain. And in that way, I can do a lot of planning as well. Okay. So just, if I want to check it out on Google Earth Pro is an application. It is actually a web browser. So I can, if I wish, I can just open this data. And this is in facilities, I have drafted it. And as I said, we are working with shapefile. And the name I had given was old alluvium plain. I will just go with no because I don't want any template to be created. So it will take me to that place. Okay. This so this particular place in Delhi falls under old alluvium plain. And so if I wish to plan something, now I can have the area. So in that way, digitization actually helps us to extract the information from a raster. Okay, because this base you will always get in the raster format, because this base are being extracted. This base map are given by the satellites or are generated by the drone. So mostly the base you will get it on raster. You have to create vector and then extract the data. You know, we get so many calls from the companies. Every month we get 2 to 3 companies. They call us for students, for candidates to work in their company, and all these companies are actually doing this project. They need lot of students to just extract data from the raster images. Okay, so there are so many job availability on GIS, but you have to know, because look how I created, I didn't create it properly, I just randomly did the work. Okay, so you have to know how exactly and how precisely you can digitize, you can create these vectors, and that what you have to learn actually. Okay, there are very shortcut tricks also. We teach our students some shortcut tricks by which they can create this data with minimum error. Okay, so this is actually a part of digitization. Now let me explain another topic. Sometimes what happens, sometimes suppose you are doing some research or you're working with some data. So suppose you get the vector or shape file. Okay, suppose here. Okay, so suppose here I got a shape file. Here I will just take shape file option. So I have this shape file. Okay. This is a shape file of all the districts of Uttar Pradesh. Okay, Uttar Pradesh is a state in India. And the biggest benefit of vector data or shape file is that once you create a shape file, there will be an attribute table created behind. This automatically it will be created. If you just even click once, if you just make a single point, still there will be a table created behind. Okay, so suppose this is a vector data. Okay, suppose you created this. Now maybe you got the data of this district in an Excel sheet. It happens, right? In research, you may get data from various sources. Suppose I have an Excel sheet. Okay, I have Excel sheet of the same place. Okay, suppose I have an Excel sheet. This is an Excel sheet. Okay, this contain lot of other data. Look, so many data are there in this Excel sheet of the same place. Of all these are districts of Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Now suppose I want to make a map of this literacy. Literacy or just I have the total literacy or I want to make a map on this total population. Okay. So this data is in the Excel sheet, right? So if I wish to bring this into the software and further make map, so how can I do that, right? So look, here I have the data. Okay, in this Excel sheet I have the data, and this can also be called as the non-spatial data. Okay, non-spatial means it is not occupying a space. It is just in an Excel sheet, and this and suppose this is the spatial data of the same area. Someone is unmuted, I guess. Just check if someone is unmuted yourself. Just mute it. Okay. So how can I now bring that Excel sheet into this software and further I can make map? Okay. So for that simply you will go to this tool, that is Open Data Source Manager. Then we'll go with the delimited text. Then from here we can browse. And from here I will just search for that Excel sheet, that is new FID. Okay. This is the new FID. There's a new FID, open, okay, and I will, here I will go with the, just check, I think someone has unmuted yourself. Will you just check or I will do it for you? Just mute yourself, it's distracting actually. Fine, so I added this Excel sheet and I want to join this Excel sheet with the shapefile. Now why? Because I want to make a map on total population. And where is that data? That data is in the Excel sheet. Okay, so now I have to join it, right? So for joining, actually, we need a unique field or a common field. A field that must be in this shape file. The similar field should be in that Excel sheet as well. So in both of this data, I created a common field, that is FID. So I will just make a right click on this shapefile and I will go to properties. And here we have the option of join. Okay. Now what I want to join, I will add the Excel sheet again. Okay. So in the Excel sheet, I have this new, the name of the Excel sheet is new FID. And in both the data, I have a field that is FID. FID actually I generated. So in the Excel also this FID field is there. Okay, field or column you may say. In the shapefile also I have this FID field. Okay, I will go with OK, apply and OK. So now you can, if I just check the attribute table of this shapefile, I can see all the data has been joined. Okay. Now I can create a map. I can show with different colors. I can represent this the total population in this map, and this is actually called as choropleth map. Okay, so it's very easy now. We just have to make a right click and go to properties, and just the symbology we have to change. What I want to, suppose I want the values to be represented in class interval, because population obviously we show in class interval, right? From here, I will select the field. Suppose I want the map for total population. Okay, and here we will go with classify. Now, if I go with apply and OK, so you can see I have created the choropleth map for all the districts to show the population. Now, if you want to suppose create a layout and just finally want to create a hard copy map, so it's again very easy. We just have to go to project and then here we have to take a new print layout. Just name it anything you want. So I'm just naming it as population. Okay. And all the parameters of the layout you will find. Okay. Suppose that map is in the main canvas and we are now have to create the layout over here. So here we have a tool. This is the add map tool. So just we have to make a square and the map will be highlighted. Okay. Now for in a map we need some title, we need scale, everything you will find here. Look, this text you can take and you can just make a box and write the title. So whatever title you want. Here we can also have one item properties. Okay. So panels. I can take this item property panel. So whatever name you want to highlight here, suppose here I'm writing as total population. Okay. Total population. Even we can change the font and everything. Suppose I want the font to be suppose 15. Okay, font and everything you can change. You can change the color and whatever. Okay, so in that way, wait. If you want to cross, if you want to rectify, so I'm going with population. Okay, you can also change the position, whatever. There are a lot of things you can explore these properties. You can do a lot of things. I'm just broadly telling you the steps. The scale is here. In map, we must obviously have a scale. Then suppose I need the margin, right? I need the margin, I need the border. So here we have the border option as well. So here we have the frame option. So I can take the frame. So if I click now, so I have the frame now. So if I again click and I want to have the grid is little tricky in QGIS actually. Rest it's very easy. So for grid, I will just expand this grid and I will just add and modify it. Okay. Here the interval, I'm suppose adding 1 and 1. Okay. One interval I'm adding. This one interval grid will be there. And I want it just the, I just want the values. Okay. Latitude and longitude values I want. So for that we can take frames and annotation. And here I want to draw the coordinates. So as you can see, I have drawn the coordinates. It is in decimal degree. But I want degree minutes seconds. Okay. So if I just take this degree minutes seconds, and this way it is one is too precise or it is too narrow. You can change the interval from here. You can change it x and y interval, whatever you wish. You can take. Then suppose I want this in vertical. So this left and right I will take here vertical ascending. Okay. Here also I will take the right one. Also I will take vertical ascending. Okay. Rest whatever you want to add. If you want to add some picture, you can take the picture option. You just have to drag and bring it here, and whatever picture you want to add, you can add that. I have shown you that map, remember, in waterlogged area of Delhi, and we added the picture in this way only. Okay. Then you can take the orientation, just drag and bring whatever you want. The orientation is there. Some line if you want to create, some marker and some shape you want to add. There are a lot of things you can explore. Okay. So once suppose you are done, suppose I want to add the legend or the index. So I just drag it. So whatever is in the map canvas, the same thing you can highlight here. And if you want to, change something, suppose I don't want this text to be highlighted, so I can just uncheck this auto update and I can click something and I can remove. And if I wish to rename, just double click and you can rename. You can write here, suppose I'm writing here population, total population. Okay. So once you are done, you can export this map either in the form of image, PDF or SVG. So suppose I'm exporting it as image. So it will be, you can export in JPEG, TIFF or whatever you want. Lot of options are there. Wait, let me just check where I'm exporting it. So I'm exporting this just inside the desktop, save, and in this DPI option you can also change and save it. So what you can find finally, let me see what kind of map we have created. So this is the map that we have finally exported. Okay. So this is how actually we can work on QGIS. So you can easily do some digitization and some kind of map layout and even working with the attribute table. Right. So actually we had this webinar for 1 hour. So it's 1 hour time we have covered. Anyway, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. And moreover, if you are new, let me again tell you our website. So if you wish to know more about us, so you can browse into our website, swastikadustar.com. and we have added this GIS block for the students who want to explore something more. So with each map you will find the methodology also. Look, for Google Earth Engine we have written down the application. So if you need some matter, okay, to write something to study more, so with each map we have also highlighted the methodology. Okay, we try to upload new things and want to explore. Moreover, we keep on conducting such webinar. I think we will be also having another webinar in March, and that will be on a applied topic. Okay, so the webinar notification you will get on our website, so you can just click. This was today's webinar, so we are trying to upload each webinar this session on our website. Moreover, you can save our number, that is 73032. Let me write it down, because you can also see our webinars, the conducting webinars on the WhatsApp status. So you can just save it, 73032070023. Okay, and we are starting a new batch from March, that is from March 24. And but the registration we have started, and those who want some discount, so for that either you can WhatsApp on this number, or you can contact us. Okay, so you just save this number by Swastik Edu Start. Okay, so if you have any doubts or any issue, you can also WhatsApp us. Anyway, let me take few doubts now. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Any doubt if you have? Okay, let me just read out the text. Okay, though I am running out short of time, but let me quickly take some. Um, Here, I think some of you have highlighted. Okay, look, yeah, for this, whatever topic I have taught today, you will find this in our YouTube channel also. We have a YouTube channel, so you can even follow us. Okay, better you can follow us on our YouTube channel. Whatever I have explained, even few more videos are there. So these are some video, look, working with shapefile. So whatever I did today, you will find on this video. Then we have some our online classes video, because we conduct the classes both in online and offline mode. So we have also uploaded some of our online class video. So this map layout, remember today I have also highlighted this map layout, no, so you can get it from this video. Even I have elaborated even precisely. So this is the map layout video, you can go through it. Okay, so layout video is there, and even many more videos are there. So you can subscribe us, better you subscribe, and you can get updated with the video. Even this was a webinar on random forest classification. If anyone wants to know the steps for random forest, it is also there. Many more videos are there, you can go through it. So just subscribe our channel Swastik Edu Start, and you will keep on getting the videos. Okay, yeah, as a steps, you can go through our video for the steps. Yeah, for QGIS, you just make a search, download QGIS. Okay, just go to their website. It will take some time. In this, it will directly take you to the download. I think their website is running a bit slow today. So just try to explore, you will find it. That's not much difficult. Yes, we teach remote sensing also. Okay, in our like I can quickly show our course content. This course content is designed by me only. So we have a diploma, 6-month diploma and 1-year PG diploma. So we have this design based on the current company requirement, market requirement. So we teach Python, we teach LIDAR, we teach WebGIS, we teach remote sensing, DIP. So a lot of things are there. We teach Google Earth Engine. So you can go through our course content. You will come to know what else we do. Okay, what we teach, and we place the diploma and PG diploma students. So there are a lot of GIS companies in around India. So we keep on placing the student as well. Okay. Okay, then let's wind up here. It's already 8:06. So I'm very much thankful to all of you for sparing your valuable time with me. And we will again be having another webinar on March. Okay, so you will get updated in our website, or save our number. Okay, you will get the notification on WhatsApp as well. Okay, fine. So let me wind up here. and take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wow, we are so grateful. I'm Ibrahim Mohammed Al Hassan from Nigeria. This is very educative.
Thank
I
you,
so
ma'am. Thank
appreciate
you,
what
ma'am.
you
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm
Everyone,
Frederick from
hello.
Kenya.
And
Hello.
yes, thank you so much. And please, we have shared this review and attendance link. So please give some valuable review. Okay, this feedback. This is the feedback.
Sure, sure, ma'am. Sure.
Okay, so
Thank you,
this
ma'am.
is
Sure,
thank
ma'am.
you.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Very sure, ma'am.